This is my 3DS. This is the 3DS that I've been using for the last 5 years or so, 5-6 years. I've been through quite a bit with this system. This is the system that I've used to record all of my 3DS gameplay I've ever recorded. So anything you've ever seen on Darbus or Darbus Uncut, that's the 3DS game, it was recorded with this. You might have seen people have a 3DS and mod it, modify it with software, so they hack it and then they can stream the system onto their computer and record it like that. However, I haven't done that. This system is hard modded, so the mod to the system is hardware related, and you can see that just on the back on here, and you can see that literally just there, that tiny port, USB port just there. So all I have to do is just grab a USB cable, plug it into this, plug it into my computer, open some software, and then bada bing bada boom, I can record some 3DS gameplay. Really straightforward, really simple, and it's so useful for recording 3DS stuff, because, you know, otherwise I have to do like this all the time, and that's just not fun for anyone. So here we go, plugged in my 3DS, let's turn it on and have a little mess around with it. Right, so here's my 3DS, you can see the screen and the screen. As you can see on the system, I have Dream Drop Distance in my system at the moment. It's pretty much always there. I almost never take it out, so it pretty much just stays there the entire time. But yeah, I have a lot of 3DS games. However, it just stays there all the time. I don't know why I don't take it out. So obviously you have like the basic stuff, so health and safety information. This stuff I haven't moved, so it's all factory default. I haven't touched any of it really. You can see that I have the fancy Donkey Kong background, and that does change to a Yoshi background if I close and reopen either the system or just go back to the home menu. So we've got health and safety information, obviously the game cartridge, camera, 3DS sounds. I'm not 100% on that because I never ended up really using it, I guess. Obviously, Mii Maker, very fancy. Look at all these little faces. Even Gaben's having a little fun time in the background every now and again. I have a lot of Miis on this system. I'm not going to go through all of them. They're really stupid. No, I was playing Tomodachi Life a lot, and they kind of just like stuck on there. Obviously, Mii Plaza. There's a lot of people that I've met over the years with just like taking my 3DS out. I don't actually know if I'd be able to access this now. I can have a look. I don't know if it's just like permanently down now. Look at that. So yeah, there's a lot of people I've met over the time I've owned my 3DS. It's a shame that like I guess people don't really take their 3DS out anymore. There's like rare occurrences where this does happen. Look at them go, the little buggers. Yeah, that's enough of that. There's just so many. 9 years ago. I'm dying. Can't believe this. Oh, why? So yeah, Mii Plaza, a lot of people on there. They're kind of just permanently stuck on there in purgatory now, never to be met again. Such a shame. So obviously eShop, rest in peace eShop. it's such a shame, but you know, there's other options. Pirate! The AR card games. I never really understood the point in this. I did mess around with AR cards every now and again, like as a novelty when I first got my 3DS. But after that, I just didn't care. Oh, hey guys, welcome to my special packing of some Nintendo, what is this, 3DS cards. Hopefully we get some cool AR cards. Maybe we can get some AR cartoon. I don't know what that means, but carte is ARA. No, but you know what, mate? I think we're gonna have some pretty good luck with this one, you know? I haven't opened one of these before, but I know my luck is usually pretty good when it comes to trading cards. Oh, like that time I got a Blue Eyes White Dragon in a pack of Pokemon cards. You know, my luck is pretty crazy. So, you never guess what? We got the Flower Men, and then we got Spaceman McGee, and Pink Puffball Pop Man, and we got Green Goblin Guy, Mr. Plumber Boy, and then oh, we got a rare one, guys. It's a question mark. Fuck. Obviously it's a fun little novelty to have on here for you to play around with, but after it's like the 3D itself, you mess around with it for a bit and then you're just done with it. There's no other real point to it. There weren't a lot of games that really utilized any AR features apart from like very specific ones. Cool little feature. I guess it wasn't really explored as much as it could have been, although I don't really know what like the whole point would have been in the long run, but it's nice to really see on here, and that kind of leads into Face Raiders. What is up with this game? Activity log. Ooh, I did like looking at the activity log. I loved looking at this. Probably more than I should have. Come with me as I take you through my activity log. So obviously in games your activity is logged in this app, and you can just like look through it, see how much you've played a game, see how many times you've played a game, which is really interesting, see the average time you played it, first time you played it, the last time you played it. It is just a very interesting little thing that I think is pretty cool. Obviously some of these games I haven't played for like what, several years at this point. Oh my god, poor Sonic Generations. I feel bad for it. But yeah, this will keep track of all of the apps that you've used throughout the entire time you've owned the 3DS. From 3DS games like physical cartridges, downloaded games, DSiWare, DS games that you've used, virtual console games, just anything that you've really used on your system, this will keep track of it, and it does it really well. So my highest total played game is Mario Kart 7 with 142 hours, but the number of times I played this is 378, but apparently there's a game that I've played for more times than that. Well, New Leaf is third, Mario Kart is second, Dream Drop Distance is second in total playtime. The eShop! Fucking what? You know, it's bugged, it's broken, yeah, don't believe it. So obviously Download Play lets you play DS and 3DS games just like with only having one cartridge. You swap the data between the two systems. Really cool little feature. So if one of you wanted to play Mario Kart DS like on the original DS, you could swap your data over to the other one. You could both play, but one of you has to be limited to like a Shy Guy or something. But it's a really cool little feature. I kind of wish it was something that could be used more, but obviously games are a lot more developed now, they take a lot more space, so it'll take a lot longer for you to actually be able to play these games properly. Load times in some of these games were pretty long anyway, but I guess that's part of the issue with kind of having that sort of functionality, is that you have to download it every time you want to play something. System settings has some fancy music and I really like it. So here are my downloaded games, all the games that I've bought from the eShop, minus a couple, and I'll explain why soon. Actually, to be more specific, I've split this up into different folders. So I have my downloaded folder, my Legend of Zelda folder, because I've got 3 separate games in there that I wanted to keep separate from all the other games. And then I have my virtual console games, so all the virtual console games that I bought ended up just going into here, really. So I'll kind of speed through this. I don't want to spend too long just explaining games, because obviously a lot of people already know about these games and they've probably played the games quite a lot anyway. So I'll just speed through them just so I can get through as quickly as I can. So obviously Outrun 3D, part of the Sega 3D games that they released on the 3DS, and the same for Space Harrier 3D. We've also got Kirby's Adventure 3D. This is part of the collection of 3D games that Nintendo would release either from the NES or the Game Boy, and then just port them over as 3D games onto the 3DS. Most of them worked fine, they looked alright, depth worked perfectly fine in pretty much all these games anyway. Games like Outrun and Space Harrier did really well, because obviously those games have to have like a very obvious like depth to the games, so you kind of have to, you know, work with that. Smash Bros for 3DS, the first portable Smash Bros game. This is a point where I really started to get into Smash Bros anyway, so it's kind of just like a given that I get this. Kirby's Triple Deluxe, this is a really cool little 3DS game. It's not super long, it's not super hard, it's just a bit of a fun time really if you want some time to kill. It's not a really long game like I said, so you can just sit down, play a bit for a few minutes, and then just stop playing, go do something else for a bit. Just a little fun time that you can really mess around with. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. This is a port of a Wii game, which is crazy to even think about. So obviously the 3DS is a bit more limited when it comes to its hardware when compared to the Wii. So having a game like Donkey Kong Country Returns, which obviously is a side-scrolling platformer anyway, it is really cool to see, and it's nice that they managed to do it really well and the 3D works perfectly fine. Just a little interesting sort of thing really that they've really decided to do. One of the best games on the system, Animal Crossing New Leaf. Honestly, I've put a lot of time into this game. I absolutely love playing it. I've done some videos on this in the past, just like streaming it, but I absolutely love New Leaf. I think it's such a fun game. And when New Horizons came out, obviously I played it. I didn't put as much time into it as I did New Leaf. I just really dig my teeth into New Leaf. It was just so much fun. Happy Home Designer. Obviously you can tell that this is a Happy Home Designer 3DS. That's the one I was sent. I didn't specifically request that one from Katsukitty, who modded my 3DS. They just sent it. They sent a brand new 3DS, and Happy Home Designer was on there, and it was just one of the games that I just so happened to really play. I haven't put a lot of time into it really, and I didn't really care too much, honestly. The home designing part of Animal Crossing wasn't really the part that I was really interested in anyway, so it is what it is. Pool Blocks, which is a really fun little puzzle game. If you're interested in puzzle games or just like games that make you think, kind of like Portal and things like that, I would really recommend Pool Blocks. There are some levels that really make you think, and there have been a few times where I have used guides and things, so it does make you think. Here's a really fun little game though. Full Blocks, which is a sequel to Pool Blocks, I didn't really get to play much of this because it's a free to play, and then you have to buy the expansions. And then that's how you can access the game, just by kind of proxy really. Luigi's Mansion 2. I like Luigi's Mansion 2, but I love Luigi's Mansion 1 so much more. I thought it was an okay game, but honestly, the reason I love Luigi's Mansion 1 so much more is because Luigi's Mansion 1 has such a good atmosphere compared to Luigi's Mansion 2. I just love it so much more. There's so much more like atmosphere and the colors and the level design, and I don't know, it's just such an intense game really. Probably one of the games that I've put the most time into in terms of rhythm games, Rhythm Paradise Mega Mix. I absolutely love this game, and it's so much fun on the 3DS, and it's such a good fit to this 3DS. Honestly, no idea why Nintendo haven't made a new one yet. It's kind of insane. Paradise Mega Mix has the best sort of music from all of the rhythm games, and then just put them onto the 3DS. Such a good game, so much fun. I absolutely love it. If you love rhythm games, 100% recommend this game. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. I didn't really play too much of this game. If I did, I don't remember too much of it. I never really got onto the hype train for Shovel Knight. It is a good platformer. I just never really understood like the sort of hype for it really. Metroid Prime Blast Ball. Yep. Rayman, this is a strange one. This is a DSiWare game. It is a very interesting little port of Rayman 1. There are better ways that I would say that you can play Rayman 1, but it's okay. I don't think it's like the best of the best. Rayman 1 on PS1 is like the way to go if you want to play Rayman 1. But yeah, I don't know. It's good. I think it's okay, but it's not like an amazing Rayman 1. Yeah, I don't really remember too much about this at all because, you know, amiibos and things. Your boy has to keep his money. I put a bit of time into this, but again, this is a free-to-play game where you have to pay microtransactions, so I didn't play too much. But Pokemon Picross, a really interesting little Picross game, kind of fun. But again, microtransactions kind of ruined it for me, so I didn't really play too much. Team Kirby Clash Deluxe. As I remember, this is a boss rush game. Just a game with bosses in it really, and that's kind of all it is. I can't say again, this is one of the games that I don't remember a whole lot about, so, you know. Nintendo Badge Arcade. Ooh, absolutely love this feature, and I kind of wish Nintendo brought it back at some point in some shape or form. If you didn't know what Nintendo Badge Arcade was, basically it was this sort of crane game that you would play, like a 2D crane game, and you would obviously drop down the crane, grab something, lift it up, and whatever you could get to like drop down to the bottom, you would keep, and that would be in the form of badges. So they would look like this. You could pin them to folders, you could keep them on your like home menu, you could do whatever you really want with them. If you wanted to, you could make little pictures or scenes. I mean, this is just so cool that they did this, but I wish they did something like this with the Switch. It's such a good idea, but I don't think that's gonna happen. We're gonna pretend that this doesn't exist, and you know, the same for this too. I'll explain soon. So Minecraft for the 3DS, show of hands of who's remembers this exists. Yeah, this is a really cool little idea that wasn't really implemented for a really long time. It was updated for a few years, I believe, and then the update stopped. Obviously, support has completely ended for Minecraft 3DS. I don't remember the exact version that Minecraft 3DS has ended on, but it is really cool that they even attempted to do this, because it does run okay. The only issue is you have to have a new 3DS to be able to play it, obviously because of the circle pad. Really cool idea. It's a shame that they didn't really get to fully try and optimize it a bit more, because the draw distance is very, very small, but it is a very cool little interesting version of Minecraft. Obviously the one on Vita is so much better. This kind of is what it is. It's its own little weird thing that you can try if you want to, just for curiosity's sake. And honestly, there's no other reason to get this game other than curiosity's sake. So, The Legend of Zelda, obviously the original Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX, and then Ocarina of Time. Absolutely love Ocarina of Time, so being able to play it on a 3DS is a great opportunity, and it's a lot of fun. It does pretty much exactly what you'd expect with you know, like a 3DS version of a Nintendo 64 game, kind of just updated, looks nice, does what it needs to, and yeah, that's about it. It's just a Zelda 3DS. So virtual console games, we've got Balloon Fight, Castlevania, Mega Man 2, Donkey Kong, you know, Game Boy Donkey Kong, and I ended up completing this. I remember just before Super Mario Odyssey came out, I wanted to try and complete this game like 100% before that game even released, and I did it the night before, I believe, which is kind of dumb, but you know, I was happy with it. Pokemon Yellow, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, and finally Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. And I have a really soft spot for this game, so being able to have it on my 3DS, I wanted to get it again anyway. And then we got a couple extra bits. Got WarioWare Gold, which I don't really remember playing too much. I was kind of forced to download it, you know, kind of like everyone. Nintendo Zone, I honestly, no idea. I don't remember anything about this game. This like app, is it an app? I think it's an app. And then Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. Again, you're kind of forced to download it. Not forced, but it showed, it invited itself onto your 3DS to just sit on your home screen. Now we've gone through all of that, we're going to explore the nether regions. So on the far right side of my 3DS, past this little diagram, we go a bit further, we'll find some interesting folders. Yar har fiddly dee. He is a pirate. So obviously, as you know, 3DS eShop is just dead. It's gone. Kaput. Bam. Doesn't exist anymore, and it's such a shame, because there's some games on there only released on the 3DS eShop, like Minecraft for 3DS, which I bought just before, about a year before the eShop closed down. So obviously there's games like that, virtual console games that only released on the 3DS, like PC Engine games in Japan, really things like that that haven't released since. And it's such a shame that this really happened. Obviously microtransaction games like Full Blocks, Pokemon Picross, things like that just aren't supported anymore. So if you want to still be able to experience the 3DS and not pay ridiculous amounts of money for certain games, you know, obviously I'm not gonna give a tutorial on how to hack your 3DS. I'm not doing that here. It's not my job. It does take a while, and if you do want to, I'm not condoning it at all. Do whatever you want to. If you want to do that to your 3DS, you're more than welcome to. There's plenty of tutorials to help. In my opinion, this is the only way you can fully experience the 3DS from now on. Every other avenue is just gone. You can't do it anymore, apart from physical cartridges. But again, if you do want physical cartridges, it is going to cost you a lot of money for some of them. So obviously you got like the standard ones that you get when you hack your 3DS. Obviously, Universal Updater, the Homebrew Launcher, FBI flag, and then 3DS Theme Manager, which I haven't messed around with yet actually. I don't know if I really want to. I'm not interested really. And then finally, again, but do whatever you want to. I'm not condoning anything. However, the hShop, which is not the eShop, it's the hShop. The hShop still exists. So if you want to, hog wild, I'm not condoning anything, do what you want to, but for those that want that option, it is there. And then we have the games that I have acquired. And I actually want to start with two of the games that I was going to show earlier, Super Mario 64 and Super Mario 64 Render 96. Super Mario 64 runs incredibly well. The guys that homebrewed this did an incredible job at porting Mario 64 onto his 3DS. Super good job. It runs really well. It looks great on a 3DS. And then you have Render 96, which looks even better with anti-aliasing, upscaling, remade textures, increased frame rates, new models. It just looks incredible. I honestly want to just put a little side by side just so you can see certain scenes of the game, models compared to each other. Obviously the frame rate looks so much better on 96 than it does on the original 64. So if you do want to play the original with the original frame rate and everything, obviously play the original Super Mario 64, but if you want to have an even better experience with updated textures, models, frame rate, increased resolution, and just anti-aliasing, then obviously try and find a version of Render 96. Literally just scan the QR code, download it, and then you can just play it. Super easy, a lot of fun, and I have completed this on here. So it is so much fun to play. So on to the my acquired games. So Captain Code Treasure Tracker, obviously it's a sort of side friend to the Wii U version. Kid Icarus, which I played, it is really fun. However, the control scheme is kind of an issue. It is really uncomfortable to play for long periods of time, so I only play about a level at a time, and then I stop because it just cramps your hands so much and it does feel uncomfortable. I kind of wish there was a better way to play this game, maybe with like the C stick. Again, it is just a bit uncomfortable to play, which is a shame because it is pretty fun, and it's a super fast-paced game as well. When I look at the 3DS library, there's not a lot of really fast-paced games, and this does a super good job at being a fast-paced, just a little sort of game really. Sega 3D Classics, kind of just like, 3DS games released by Sega in 3D, but released as a package, so you could download this game and then have like multiple 3DS games be 3D. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I didn't play the original, so I did want to play this, like the GBA version, so I wanted to play this version as well. Heard like really good things about it. I just wanted to kind of explore it. Star Fox 64 3D. I like Star Fox 64. It's a fun little game to just sit down and play for a bit, but yeah, the 3D version does really well. It looks good. It looks really good actually. Yeah, I think I remember it being fairly close to like the launch of the 3DS, maybe like a year or so after. It's just Star Fox 64. It looks great. It's just a fun little game really. Chibi Robo Let's Go Photo. I haven't actually played this, but that guy that says things is interesting.
I'm going to Hobby. No flanks, one.
Super Monkey Ball 3D. I was kind of in like a Monkey Ball mood, and I wanted to have Monkey Ball on my 3DS, and I forgot what I kind of found out about this game, so I wanted to try it myself. Skip. I don't remember what this game's called, but it's like, the Sega 3D game, Sega 3D Classics game, but the third Japanese release. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. I haven't actually played a Shantae game before, but I've heard really great things, so I wanted to give it a try in some shape or form. Metroid Prime Federation Force, skip. The Louvre! If you want to explore the Louvre in the comfort of your own home, just, like sat on the sofa, download this. It's a lot of fun, and it's honestly fun, interesting. You get to explore like sculptures and paintings and have a look around the Louvre. Well, honestly, really interesting. This is one of the cases where the 3DS game itself would be super expensive, so I just recommend getting this instead. And then we have virtual console games, so Yoshi's Island, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Earthbound, which I haven't really played too much of yet, Metroid Fusion, The Minish Cap, Mario vs Donkey Kong for GBA, and then a couple DS games. So I believe this is a bit expensive, but Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, I wanted to try it. It does look pretty fun, and I have played quite a bit of it already. Really little quirky game, so if you are interested, Tingle does have his own game. Give it a try. There is a sequel too, but I haven't really played it. Give it a try. It's a pretty fun little game. And then Retro Game Challenge 2, but this game was only released in Japan, and this is an English translation of it. But I downloaded it, put it on my 3DS, because otherwise there's not really another way to play it, and I kind of wanted to play it on like real hardware, so I'd give it a try. It's a fun little like retro. I've done a lot today. It's a fun little retro game, like fake retro game, and it does it really well. And then finally, a few PC Engine games. So you got Alien Crush, China Warrior, and then R-Type. And then that is everything on my 3DS. So, you know, the 3DS I've had so many memories with. It is one of the systems that I hold very close to my heart because I have spent so much time with this system. I do love the Switch, but I wish it had more characteristic like the 3DS did. But yeah, this isn't my original one. I do have 2 other ones. I have a Pokemon XY 3DS and just a blue 3DS XL. But yeah, this has been like my main 3DS for the past several years, and there went my camera. So that's all I wanted to do for this video. This video ended up being really long, but I did want to spend some time to just talk about the 3DS because I absolutely love this 3DS and I spent so much time with it. I just wanted to show it some appreciation and love because, you know, it's just such a objectively great system. It's an incredible little system. So if you do want to have a 3DS in 2023, I would very much recommend it. It's small, it's compact, it's a lot easier to take around with you than a Switch is. If you do want to hack it, by all means, just be careful with what you do. Be careful you don't brick the system. Obviously, just be very careful with it. Backwards compatibility with the DS. There's so many factors as to why you would want to have a 3DS, and yeah, that's all I want to make for this video. So thank you for watching. Hopefully there's a lot of people that have similar points of view with the 3DS as me, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Slip, slip, slip.